Howdy, howdy. Welcome on in to the pre-show before the free show, where there's a pair of Gregs, both in black shirts.
Hi,
Hi,
it's
Gregs.
us, your black-shirted Gregs.
And wrap. That's
Hit
the
the
end of the
theme.
show.
All right, yeah, that's great.
And we're done.
Hello, Greg.
What's up, Greg?
How are you?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question.
Y'all have a bromance going on right
You're a
now.
married man.
I am.
I mean, sadly for me.
Yes, this is true.
Sadly for Pickle, too.
Yeah.
But you've been married to your lovely wife for a while.
Yes.
Does she think you're the dumbest person that's ever walked the earth?
Of course not.
Oh.
Does she sometimes treat you as if you are the dumbest person that has ever walked the earth?
No.
Because I'll give you an example of something that happens in my house a lot. Something that happens in my house a lot is that
You are. You end up being the dumbest person.
we'll be having a conversation, and she'll say something, we'll be having, hey, I need you to do this, stuff like that. And then she'll say something extremely obvious to me, that she'll say something along the lines of like, okay, hey, make sure you, when you take out the trash, make sure you put another liner in the trash can.
Men are terrible about that.
Thank you, ma'am. I am, as you know, exceedingly stupid.
I think this doesn't speak to your intelligence. It speaks to your
Forgetfulness.
want to.
Oh, my drive.
Your
Yeah.
drive.
No, I'm very good at putting a new liner in the trash.
Okay, men typically are awful at that. Coming from a person that lived in a house with 4 dudes, awful.
I'm excellent at it.
Okay.
Also excellent at, just throwing this out there, putting the toilet seat down.
Okay, that's another thing that men are typically terrible
I'm
at.
very
I'm
good
pretty
at
good
that.
at
I'm very good at that because what I learned at a very in the young part of our marriage was if you just put the whole damn thing down, the lid and the seat, you'll never get in trouble.
Yeah.
That is perfectly fine. Yes, she has to go in there and lift up the cover, but like if you put the whole thing down, your money.
I will admit that I must be really terrible at picking out a parking spot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I am bad at that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's just
Why?
like...
Does she
No, I'm just saying, like, I must not be good at it. I'm not good at picking out a parking spot.
What do you mean by good?
Yeah, what's it's like
I'm lost.
what are you looking for in parking spots?
There's always a better parking spot available than the one I pick.
So she gets
That's
on you
my-
about that.
No, I would never say that about Mrs. Powers.
Look at him staying in the good graces.
Buddy, we're trying to get you in trouble. Like, come on, meet us halfway.
But we did listen to an interesting bit about it this week, and I think it might have been George Lopez had and we were rolling because it was just like so much of our life.
I think I'm pretty good at picking parking spots. One thing Pickle and I discovered a couple weeks ago, one of the new technologies out there in parking lot parking technology.
Oh yeah, it's
Have
a
you seen
lie.
this? Hear about this, Kev?
Is
If you go to like a parking garage, it'll tell you how many spots are in each one, and then it'll have like the green light or the red light.
It
above each spot.
lied. Every single one of them lied.
Not every one of them, but a couple of them did. A couple of them did.
Like
we were like, oh, there's 2
5
spots on
of
this level,
them.
and then like you go and it's like, oh, there's a green light, and you go over there and there's a car parked there.
or it's a handicap spot.
It's not perfect. It's
Right.
not 100%, but I do think that is one of the great technological advances in parking technology.
If it works.
You see that a lot on college campuses now.
Oh, is that big on college campuses? Okay.
So that you can figure out where to park. I noticed that. Now we're starting to get it like all those new shopping centers they put in Plano or around Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
They all have that technology now to where you can just
It's big technology.
you just know where to park.
Because how many times have you gone and you're just like, all right, I'll keep going up. You know where the worst is that parking lot at the Star.
Yeah.
Parking lot at the Star is tough.
It's tough to get out of too. Like
Oh
if
my
you go
gosh.
during where it's busy.
Yeah, like a high school football game, hypothetically.
I'll tell you like a thing that sometimes men do that like annoy me.
Here we go. And here with a complaint about men is Ashley Pickle.
I mean, I've got a lot of complaints. We could make a whole show out of this, but
No.
one of them, like just talking about like nitpicky things, like if you have a cup and you're drinking out of it and then you set it next to the sink rather than putting it in the sink, It's like what you.
Okay.
It's like right there.
Okay.
Like why? I also
but what
hate.
if you're
I hate
what if you're saving that cup for
That's always
potential
the excuse.
recycling?
Bingo.
No,
Bingo. You
because
mean to dirty
never,
another cup?
You never
We're
go
really-
back and use the
I'll
same
say
cup.
this.
It'll
Worse.
sit there
Let
throughout
me
the
say
night.
this, Pickle.
I do.
We're thinking about
No.
the person that may have to do the dishes to not
I also
make their job tougher.
well, I hate dishes being
But
left
here's
in the
the thing.
sink. Like just put them in the dishwasher.
I'm also dish guy in our house. So I don't have a ton of sympathy if somebody's going to be like, "Oh, you should put that in the sink." It's like, I'm going to do it anyway. Why don't you just let me do it my way?
Yeah, that's fair.
Like one thing, and you're well past this stage, but right now, we got I'm in charge of bottle service at my house. So I'm the one.
Not the same bottle service that you're thinking out at home.
Oh yeah, I guess there's a different one. I'm in charge of bottle service at the house.
Okay.
And so that means, and you might think, oh, that just means mixing formula and doing this and
Right.
that and the other. It's like, no, you gotta hand wash all those bottles and stuff like that. Pop in another technological advance. The AirPods are huge for that because your hands free, your hands getting all wet, stuff like that.
Did you get the new device that they show hooked up on these sinks where you just put the bottle on it and it shoots water into it and cleans it?
I
or-
have seen that. I don't have it, but I
should.
admire it. Have you seen the? This is just. We're not going to do a show. We're just going to riff.
Talking babies.
Just going to riff. No, this has nothing to do with babies. Although, well, maybe in a roundabout way it does. Have you seen the beer cup that'll fill up the beer, or the beer tap that'll fill up the beer from the bottom?
I have. That's big on Bar Rescue.
Is it big?
John Taffer's big into the.
It seems okay. It seems kind of needless, but
I have a take.
I also wonder, and I'm sure the way they sell it is there's X number of beers in a keg, and if you do it that way, there's less wasted on the pour out, right?
Yeah. And I
presume.
think it's like you get less bubbles
Yeah,
or less head,
yeah, but
as they
I
say.
kind of want the bubbles.
Yeah.
Quick sidebar, Pickle.
Yeah. No, this is
Good
just
thing about picking up.
exclusively sidebar today.
Good thing my sons are coming home from college for the summer.
Nice.
Big news is that a kegerator is coming back with them. Is what I
Let's
found out.
go.
I found this out yesterday.
So party at Power's house.
I was gonna say, how mobile is this kegerator?
I don't know. They just said, "Hey, do we have room for a kegerator?"
That
And we
sounds
were
like
"Yes."
that sounds
yes,
like
we do.
magazine to press day.
Well, I was just going to say, not only that, but I'm planning on, I guess I can tell you this, I'm planning
Yeah.
on having folks over for a barbecue.
Okay.
After magazine goes to press, like a week after magazine goes to press and stuff like that. And so maybe we can talk and see.
I'll have more intel next Wednesday.
We can see how mobile it is. I like all of this plan.
I had I used to have, RIP, I used to have a bar, like in my house, and it was in my apartments and stuff like that. It was a great bar. It folded up and rolled and stuff, but it was still like made of like nice mahogany and like good wood or cherry wood, stuff like that. I bought it on Craigslist
Nice.
back in like 2010, and I went to go pick it up, and I had to drive over to Fort Worth to pick it up. And I walk up, I walk up this guy's house, and he's got the garage open, and his 3 kids are playing in the lawn and stuff like that. And I asked him, I looked at the bar, and I was like, man, this is like really nice. Why are you selling? And he goes, my wife told me that I could either keep the bar or I could keep the kegerator. And I was like,
so goodbye to the bar.
I was like, all right, you know what?
That's fair.
That feels like a deal you make. You know what I mean? Like if you can only have one, like that's nice of your wife to let you have one.
My
My wife let me. When we had our second kid, my wife made me sell the bar.
what's the
Circle of life.
my living profile, or like the niceness of which I'm living, maybe going down because 2 sons are going up. But my beer drinking quality,
I was
my
gonna
quality
say,
of life,
yeah.
my quality of life in general may be dipping a little bit, but my beer drinking quality of life is going.
Yeah,
up.
I was gonna say like part of your standard of living is gonna take a
Yeah.
hit, but another more important part of your standard of living is
Yeah.
gonna increase. Good
Yeah.
for you.
And that could benefit all of us.
Yeah,
That-
really.
It's
Let's.
like
So
you know?
really,
We'll
what
find
we're
out.
saying is we're the big winners here,
Yeah,
people.
because it's not affecting me negatively at all, but positively, it very well could be.
I was gonna say, welcome home to your kids. Is
Yeah,
all I'm
welcome
saying.
back, little powers.
Welcome back, guys. Okay, hit the theme expo. Pickle. Hit the arid sound. y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Louisville, Texas, it's Texas Football Today, a show on the internet. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football magazine, TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us, whether you're watching us live on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all of the places, or you're listening to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local, mediocre internet show. I'm sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She's the Duchess of the Dorks. She's Ashley Pickle. Hi, Ashley Pickle.
Howdy, team. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
And sitting to my right,
Grev!
What's up, y'all?
Recruiting analyst from Dave Campbell's Texas Football. You can find next level athlete is Greg Powers. Hi, Greg.
Howdy.
Good to see you, buddy. Thanks
Good to
for
see y'all,
thanks
too.
for stopping by the studio for the show.
Wintry Studios.
The cool wintry studios.
So cold.
Today is Wednesday, May 11th, 2022. 197 days until Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Cam Newton. Cam
Oh.
Newton's
Nice.
32
That's a notable
today.
name.
Cam Newton's 32 today. Happy birthday, Cam. It's episode
Seems
1.
older.
Yeah, I would have thought at 34, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But he's 32.
Maybe I'm thinking like Russell Wilson. They always.
When did he win the
mesh
Heisman?
in my brain.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Well, I'm going to look up.
Oof.
No, I'm sorry. He's 33 today. He's 33.
Oh,
Okay.
I wish you weren't a liar.
I'm sorry. He was 32. He's celebrating his 33rd birthday. I apologize. He won the 2011 Heisman.
Mm.
Yes.
Cool beans.
I knew he seemed.
No,
I
I'm sorry.
knew he seemed.
Let me
I knew
Liar.
he seemed
Hold
older.
on. Let me rephrase. He won for the 2010 season. He led them to the national title in 2011. That always throws me off. Like the Cotton Bowl.
I wish you
when
weren't
the-
a liar.
Like when the Cotton Bowl's on like December 4th or something, or January 4th or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
I
it's the
think it's gonna
2023 Cotton Bowl. It's like,
But it's not.
it's for the 2022 season, though,
Season,
right? Yeah.
I think they should come up with a consistent
I agree.
naming. It should always just be the season.
Totally agree. Episode 1384. On today's show, friends, This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, Next Level Athlete. A lot to get to, news and notes, including a big commit for an out-of-state Big 12 foe. We'll talk about that. In the back half of the show, Powers caught up with Burleson quarterback JT Kitna. I was going to joke and say no relation, but it is relation. It's John Kitna's kid. They're at Burleson, so we will hear from JT Kitna, who is going to be a sophomore this year.
Yep.
Going to be a sophomore this year. We'll talk to JT Kitna coming up here at the back half of the program. Do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was Nick Morton, Rob Hadaway, Lau Good, and Robert Legault. Welcome in, fellas.
Howdy, friends. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. I'm Greg Tepper. That's Greg Powers. And this is This Week
In Cruton.
Yes.
It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, the Next Level Athlete. Follow him on Twitter at GPowersScout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter, Next Level D1. See his fine work at TexasFootball.com/recruiting. And, of course, this segment is brought to you by our good chicken friends at Chicken Express. Chicken Express,
That would hit right now.
hot take, they got great green beans. That's a weird thing to say about a restaurant, but their green beans hit.
There's nothing that they have that doesn't hit consistently.
Ooh, what's the worst thing on their menu?
You can't name it.
I don't.
They even had the chicken e blends for a while. I mean, the chicken e blend was even really good.
The chicken. What's the
It
chicken?
was
a
like their
blend?
like their version of a milkshake or like a blast.
What?
They had a chicken e blend that I was really into back when my kids were playing baseball.
There was a time I
Oh,
would,
that is peak baseball
Yeah.
season.
there was a time when I was ordering Chicken Express, and for some reason I was sad when I ordered Chicken Express. So I ordered they got like 2 cookies for like $1 or something like that. Man, the cookies hit too.
It's just
They
you're
don't
gonna
miss.
get the history of Chicken Express when you come on the show.
Miss
It's not
once!
just gonna be about like what they have
They even
now.
have the good
Miss
ranch.
once, Chicken Express. Miss once. We're begging you. Prove that you're human. Just Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, Next Level Athlete. A lot to get to today. Let's start with our prospect on the rise. Prospect on the rise. Let's go small school out to East Texas. Talk about Tatum. Soon-to-be senior defensive tackle Cullen Fight. You can call him CJ. CJ Fight picked up a couple of offers this week from Nebraska and Louisiana Tech. He has also scheduled an official visit to go see the Beavs up there at Oregon State. He's got offers from all over, including North Texas, SMU, UTSA, and a handful of out-of-state schools. He of course, one would think that SMU would at least have a say in the matter, considering his older brother, Trey Fight, signed with SMU in the class 2022.
Yeah, I would think so. I think they got to be in the mix, but he's getting some good P5 attention, picking up offers as this thing goes along. Nebraska is a, historically powerful college football program with rich traditions. I think that's a really good offer for a kid from East Texas. It'd be interesting to see what he thinks about his visit to Oregon State, pretty far away from home, but, plays in the Pac-12, another Power 5 school. I think he'll take a look at SMU before this thing's all said and done. And Kansas State, I think, would probably really want to have a say in that matter. They do pretty well traditionally in Texas. Really like this kid on tape. He's strong in the middle of the defense. Could play that nose guard position. Could also slide around to play some different techniques, maybe in a 3-4 or a 4-3, kind of versatile in that regard. Strong at the point of attack, pretty athletic, gets off the ball really quick, and he is a fierce competitor. He was really good at the next level athlete. Texas Top 100 showcase in Houston, and every camp we've seen him at, he's been a warrior type of competitor. So glad that I got to finally talk about CJ Fight. This one's been a long time coming, and this offer from Nebraska allowed him to get to be the prospect on the rise this week.
Yeah, district defensive MVP a year ago with 16 tackles for loss, rather. A stud there in the middle of the defense. And I believe they were playing him both ways, like offensive and defensive line. Is that right?
I haven't seen him play offensive line personally, but I didn't make it to a Tatum game last year.
Anyway, I guess we got to go to Tatum.
There we go.
Let's get to our commit of the week. Our commit of the week, we're going to Euless Trinity. Talk about, you're never going to believe it, but they've got a big man in the trenches.
What? No.
Defensive tackle Ricky Lohea has committed to Oklahoma State. He had offers from a variety of other places, including SMU, Texas Tech, and North Texas. But Lohea, the DCTF 3-star, is heading north to Stillwater. A nice get there for a program in Oklahoma State that has traditionally recruited Euless Trinity pretty well.
Very well. LD Bell, too, that whole Hearst corridor, I guess.
Mid-cities, yeah.
Yeah, they've done a pretty good job in that area. I always appreciate Oklahoma State's ability to evaluate Texas talent because sometimes they don't go after all of the guys that some of the other programs are going after, but by and large, the guys that they get are always really good football players. And Ricky Lohea is a guy that really jumps out in person and on tape. Saw him at a camp earlier this spring, and I was surprised to find out that he checked in at 280 pounds. He's a very slim 280,
yeah.
So he's a guy that can go 310, I think, and you wouldn't even notice that he was a big body like that. So carries his weight really well. Quick off the ball, and one thing that I really appreciate about his game, he's playing defensive end in their three-man front, but he'll probably play defensive tackle in college. He uses his hands really well, and he is a run-stopping specialist. That seems to be what he's really good at. He can get some penetration and make plays behind the line of scrimmage, but he understands his role is to get off of blocks and find the ball carrier, and he sucks them up, man. He makes some good plays against the run.
One has to imagine that while Oklahoma State was in Euless recruiting Ollie Gordon, they looked around and said, "Hey, Ricky, what do you think of Oak? What do you think of Stillwater?"
Yeah.
Two birds with one stone there. So, Ricky Lohea is a new commitment to Oklahoma State. It's This Week in Recruiting with Greg Powers, next level athlete here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at #TF Today. Let's go to our underclassmen of the week. Our underclassmen of the week. Let's go to Lumberton, the Raiders, and talk about their defensive rush and defensive end outside linebacker, Brock Jackson. Brock Jackson had offers from places like North Texas, Texas Tech, UTSA, and Central Michigan. He now has an offer from Baylor. Again, kind of that hybrid defender. I don't know if I think a lot of his tape, I believe, is played with his standing up.
Yeah.
I think if you asked him to put his hand in the dirt, he probably could. But this is a guy that most certainly can get after it.
Yeah, and I think he was probably about 6'2", 215 last year. He's up to about 6'3", 6'4", 230 right now. So he may be growing into that true defensive end that you kind of think about when you watch him on tape. But very active standing up. He's got not a guy that was, as a bigger-bodied outside linebacker. He wasn't playing out of position. He can pin his ears back, get a good rush, plays well out into the flats to showcase some good lateral speed and chasing down the ball. Really like his upside and potential overall. He's got that, like a blue collar type of work ethic. as he pursues the football. I like that a lot, and I think he's a guy who's going to continue to pick up a lot of attention. And you'll notice a bit of a theme with this week's notebook, and this is funny how this happens. All defensive linemen.
Yeah,
this week. Yeah, all defensive linemen in the
spoiler alert.
All defensive linemen in the recruiting notebook this week. And this is a guy who I think is just going to continue to pick up attention and offers as it goes along. And he's going to be in the mix for a top 100 position, I think, when it's all said and done on the in the DCTF rankings.
Remember the name of Brock Jackson, the soon-to-be junior edge rusher out of Lumberton. Picked up an offer from Baylor this week. Let's round it all out with our recruit of the week. Our recruit of the week is Austin Westlake defensive end Colton Vasek, who is not a stranger to being on recruiting lists. Brock Jackson, I think flying under people's radar a little bit. Colton Vasek, not flying under people's radar. He now, as you take a look at the DCTF Hot 100 for the class of 2023, you're going to notice he's top 10, number 9 prospect. He's got almost 40 scholarship offers. He's already scheduled some visits to Clemson, Oklahoma, and Oregon. Colton Vasek is the real deal, and he will be the anchor of another outstanding Austin Westlake defense.
Yeah, I really like his game a lot. I mean, he is so smart too. He has the talent, but he's a coach's son, and it shows through on tape. And I think this is a lot of people like to compare his teammate last year, name escapes me right off the top of my head, who committed to Michigan and then decommitted and switched his commitment to Texas. To Aiden Hutchinson, but this guy, to me, is Aiden Hutchinson. He's that type of guy. Slim 230. When he's playing at 250, 260, this guy's going to be an absolute monster. And maybe you can compare him to some of the other great defensive ends that have come through the game here recently as well, like maybe one of the Bosa brothers, something like that. But he is like the Joey Bosa of Texas high school football this year.
He gets after you. I mean, he is his first step is so quick. And, obviously the athleticism and the strength, he's able to make pretty much every play out there. And a guy who, you're right, you mentioned a slim 230. He doesn't look 230. He looks like he's playing at about 190 the way that he runs, and he will get after you.
Look at him holding that block off with long arms, holding his position to get off of it and find the football. And look at this offensive tackle he's matched up with theirs. That's a big boy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's going up against some really good talent, helped lead his team to a state championship. This one's going to be really interesting, man, how it plays out. With almost 40 offers, he's got a June 3rd official visit to Clemson. He's already got Cade Klubnik at Clemson.
In his ear, I'm sure.
Right. And then he's got an official visit June 10th to see Oklahoma. And June 17th to see Oregon, but his dad played at Texas.
And he
he's
can wander on over to Texas whenever he wants.
Right there coaching at Austin Westlake as well. So this is going to be like a recruitment that's a war.
Yeah.
He's seeing some premier programs, and it'll be interesting to see how this one plays out. Will he stay at home, or will he go?
I guess we'll find out. But one guy who's always at home right here on Texas Football Today every Wednesday is Greg Powers.
How
Next Level Athlete.
That
Follow him
was
on
the
Twitter.
sweetest one.
Follow him on Twitter at Chief Power Scout. Follow Next Level Athlete on Twitter, Next Level D1. See his fine work at texasfootball.com/recruiting. Powers, please don't go anywhere because I don't know how to introduce the next segment, so you're going to have to do it.
I'll be here.
Thanks. We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. TexasFootball.com is where you can find complete coverage of high school football, college football, and recruiting all across the Lone Star State. Hope you'll consider becoming a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe. That's our subscription package. 2 magazines and a year's worth of exclusive online content at TexasFootball.com. If you go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe, if you want to get the 2022 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football mailed to you before it hits newsstands, you just go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe. We'll mail it to you. Powers already turned his stuff in.
He did.
Done.
I am stressed. Very stressed. I told Pickle this, that annually, every year, there's one moment where I shoot up in bed and I go, crap, are we going to be able to finish this magazine? It was 1:30 this morning. That's when it happened. Like, I almost got out of bed and worked for a couple more hours.
So far, the bar is pretty high. There's been a magazine every year. So,
Yeah.
if you don't deliver the magazine.
And not to be like, not to get dark, but like, Dave passed away, obviously, in December. And if we don't have a magazine this year, this is like this is the year we've got to continue the tradition.
It's gonna get done.
I know it'll get done.
It will get done.
It'll get done.
I am professional ledge talker offer.
Yeah.
That's my job here.
Ledge talker offer. And professional word lady, too.
Yeah.
Hey, Powers. Did you know that 35% of college athletes quit their sport or transfer schools by the end of their sophomore year? That's because most high school athletes only consider athletics when picking a college. They skip over the other important factors like college major, location, scholarships, and long-term goals. With so much to consider, how do you make sure you're choosing the right school? That's where Athletes to Athletes comes in. Athletes to Athletes is a college counseling program built specifically for the student-athlete and their families. They provide a holistic approach to help you find the college program that best fits all your needs, both on and off the field. Go to athletetoathletes.com/DC today to schedule your free information session and see how they can help you find the best college program for you. That's athletetoathletes.com/DC. Powers, who'd you talk to today?
We caught up with 2025. Yes, you heard that right. 2025.
Don't say that.
Burleson quarterback Jamison JT Kitna. And I'm just going to say this. And you hear me say some of this stuff, leading into these interviews about how well-spoken some of these young Texas high school football athletes are. But this is a quarterback's quarterback already. Hasn't taken, a varsity rep. That doesn't have his first offer yet, but this is a guy who's going to blow up on the recruiting trail and already has the lingo down. I didn't plan on putting this interview into the show, but it was so good I had to. This is a great interview.
Well, that's a tease. Here's JT Kitna from Burleson here on Texas Football Today.
JT Kitna. Man, I just want to kind of start off with the expectations on you for this next year, man. Getting to step up, play for the varsity team, and playing for your dad, no less. That's a tough situation, no matter how you slice it. You get
Well, it's kind of different because I'm the last one, so he's mastered how to separate being dad and being coach. So at home, if I want to watch film, I'll just say can we watch film, whatever. But other than that, he's just dad at home. So it's just and up at the facility, I'll call him Coach Kit or whatever. And so, he does a pretty good job of separating that.
Because I covered both of your brothers, too, and have a little bit of experience interviewing your dad, talking to him, that kind of stuff. I know that he's the type of guy that kind of lets you develop on your own, then kind of takes in. But what have you been able to learn from him just coming up? And I guess it's a quarterback house, right?
Yeah. So everyone's a quarterback. So I'm the youngest. I've always been learning, taking in information since a young age. But it's basically just we'll go up and do QB training, whatever, and this offseason specifically, we're quickening up my release and getting rid of a left lean, and he just teaches me the system and knowing ins and outs of football and what we like versus different coverages and all that stuff, and how to we call it the 4 R's: rhythm, read, rush, react. So my rhythm, my drop, my read, what's the read, and then the rush, if we're all blocked up or if I got to throw it quick, and then react to just playing football. So
there's no doubt that's QB talk.
Yeah.
Going down around the dinner table, every night. Kind of watching your brothers go through the recruiting process and play in high school football, now playing into college. What did you kind of take away from them, and what did you learn from them just going through the process?
Just you gotta be a QB in every aspect of life. So both of them, Jordan got 4.0 in college. The oldest one got a 4.0 in college, 4.0 in high school, and Jalen, he moved to 4 different high schools, had to go into different situations and start leading a team. So just different leadership skills and just different. I don't know. It's just we've all been put through a lot.
Different challenges for each one of you.
Yeah, there's different challenges, and them two, they've seen it all. So, and same with my dad. So it's just I always have the solution to what I'm facing, and I can just ask him questions.
I've only watched a little bit, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say you're the most athletic of the 3 brothers.
As of this age, when in the past, yes. Right now, though, Jalen's probably faster than me, can jump, but he's 3 years older.
Strength and conditioning.
Yeah. So but at this age, yes, I would say so.
As far as your challenges, what you face, you played behind what is now rated as the #1 quarterback in the country in Dylan Raiola, who transferred, and now you're taking over the reins of the high school program here. And I don't think there's any quarterback battle going on or anything. It looks like you're firmly established as the guy here. It's your turn. What did you learn from Dylan, and how excited are you now to be like the guy at Burleson?
Just competing and how much work he puts in. Like, he is working every single day, and like he throws every day, takes care of his arm. Like, he's like a professional QB. So like he does everything like super professional, and like I don't know, it's just he's like very professional in how he goes about things, and he's a great leader. Like, everyone on this team respected him. He was a sophomore last year. Had a very old team, a ton of seniors, and they all respected him. Like, he had their voice and everything, so that was good. That was
a
good.
little bit of pressure, though, on you now that you take over the reins here. But I'm looking at you, man. You passed the eyeball test. You're out here throwing in a very stiff win at the state qualifying tournament. You have the arm. So, I mean, you're a legitimate D1 prospect in your own right. Are you pretty excited now to have that opportunity to be that guy?
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited. I can't wait for this season. We're really young, but we got some young playmakers, so it'll be really good just to see them develop and play. So yeah, there's a lot of there's pressure, but I mean, this is what you train. This is what you train for. So like, I don't know. It's just get to go out and do what you do.
I know it's really, really early. You probably don't have any idea of what college is going to be looking at you, anything like that, or there probably are some that are already looking at you, but kind of start to formulate like an early list. Like, who would you be hopeful to get on the radar? Is Florida like one of those schools because your brother's there that you hope shows interest? And who are some of the other ones?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like Florida, I've been there a lot, and just like getting to see the campus and stuff. Like, I stayed with my brother, so it's really cool. It has a special place in my heart. But I don't know, just like I just like anyone that's gonna be competing for the championship and any pro style offenses, and it really just matters about the coaches and the relationships that you make. So, yeah.
Give us a glimpse of what style of quarterback you are, because a lot of people are going to get familiar with you for the first time this year. Haven't had the opportunity, like myself, to see you out here play. So you're going to kind of be like a hidden secret, I guess, in a lot of ways to people who are like big Texas high school football fans. What should they expect?
Well, I'm a pro-style quarterback that can run, so it's always using my mind and knowing where to go with the football. But my dad always says you got to make 4 to 6 plays on your feet a game. So just being able to do that and pocket movement, which is good. So I'm a pro-style, but I can run. That's basically what it is.
All right, JT, appreciate the time. Good luck with this upcoming season.
There is JT Kitna, quarterback, Burleson. A name to know. You might know his dad. I see what you mean. That's a sharp kid.
A freshman quarterback who's working on his left lean during the off season.
Okay.
As well as the 4 R's.
Oh, what are the 4 R's?
4 R's are rhythm, read, rush, and react. So
that seems right.
He's got it together. This kid's got it together.
I mean, I don't want to tell. I don't know who's coach is, but like he probably doesn't know as much about quarterbacking as I do. That sounds right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, JT Kitna, appreciate his time. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment. Final thoughts.
Questions in the comments for Powers. Have you heard any update on where Arch Manning is leaning?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the latest intel, the scuttlebutt.
Scuttlebutt. That's what we love.
Scuttlebutt is, now that Alabama's went in a different direction for its quarterback needs in this class, is that it's down to Texas and Georgia. And, Texas may pull this one off. I don't know 100%, but
it would be.
Texas has been there from the start, and there's a good opportunity, I think, at Texas. We'll see. We'll see. I think those are 2 good programs.
I think they're in it. I'll say that, and we'll see. We'll find out. But Arch Manning, speaking of guys whose dads are,
that's a name. I think I've heard that name before.
But isn't
Manning?
it? Hold on. It's Cooper's kid, right?
Ooh.
It's not Eli's kid. And it's not Peyton's kid. It's Cooper's kid.
Let's pull his
so
profile.
It's the third.
And he was supposed to be the best one.
Wah, wah, wah.
That was the joke. Not the joke, but like everyone was saying, it's like,
way to make fun of a kid, Greg.
No. I think Cooper No, I'm talking about the dad, Cooper.
No, I know, but I just wanted to
Cooper,
brag on you.
like, I believe got hurt, got injured, or like.
How about this? This is a funny.
Period.
And
That's
here,
it.
and
Here
here
with
with
the funny.
And here with
This
the
is a
funny
funny.
is Greg Powers.
Connections. Peyton Manning, uncle.
Uh-huh.
Eli Manning, uncle. Archie Manning, grandfather. Father's nowhere mentioned.
Man, poor Cooper.
Dude, yeah, he gets the short end of the stick.
It stinks. Like he doesn't get to. Although
Here's funny.
Cooper Manning did show up. Did you see there was like Peyton Manning's hosting like the Quiz Bowl or something on like NBC?
Doesn't surprise me at all.
And like it seems it's very clear that they did that exclusively so that like Cooper could have something to do because like he co-hosts it and. I'm sure he's a really nice guy, but he has the personality of a wet sock of gravel. It is.
Dude, if you're not going to be good at football, you at least have to make up for it in personality.
It's rough. It was a rough watch.
I like Cooper Manning.
Do y'all watch the Peyton and Eli thing on ESPN on Monday nights?
I have watched it. It's okay.
Really, I like it.
It's okay. It's good if you don't want to watch the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I couldn't do it. I mean, I know a lot of people talk about, and enjoy.
You know what
it's
I'd
not
rather
even
a lot
them.
of people
I loved
enjoy
watching
it.
their guests. The guests have always been great.
That's one of the things when we've done our watch-alongs in the past. One of the things that's been very important for me is to like make sure people like people aren't watching us instead of the game. I want them to watch us and the game. And the Manning
I'm watching straight up.
The
for
Manning
the
cast
yeah.
is there's too much going. There's too many bits, and that's coming from me.
Let me ask you, journalists.
Oh,
Is there a Monday night game that you sit and you just watch the game? You know what I mean? Like you're just
if the Cowboys are on.
Yeah, maybe if the Cowboys are on, but otherwise I'm generally working. So the Manning broadcast you have to pay too close attention to.
Yeah.
So I can't.
Yeah, I need really what I think you're right. Like I don't lock in to even if the Cowboys are on. Like for me it's background noise. But like I think you're right. I need the announcer and the color commentator to be keeping me up to speed when I'm not locked in on 2nd and 7.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I need. And so for the Manning cast, again, it's fine. Like if that's what you're into, but it's not. It doesn't strike me as like you're really. If I'm locked into a game, what did you think of? Boy, it's been a show all over the place. What did you think of like whenever the like ESPN does like the mega cast for like the national championship game? I'm not talking about the coaches' room. I'm talking about like, do you feel like I've found
like
I've enjoyed doing like
angles?
the sky cam, where it's like they do the like you just watch the sky cam, and they have the play-by-play guy, the color, the same announcers over it. I found that to be pretty interesting.
I like how MLB Ticket or MLB TV does it now.
How do they do it?
They do it to where you can select the broadcast you want and the audio stream you want on that.
Oh, so
time.
you could
wait.
you could
Can
do
you sync up radio?
Sky
Yeah,
cam?
you can sync up the radio now. This is a new feature for this year's streaming. So like I can listen.
So you could get
they just got my money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what I want. I mean, I like Dave Raymond and CJ Nikowski, but like there's.
That's the go.
That's the person I'd want to listen to.
That's
about
like
anything.
that's like the Longhorn games. Like you want to hear Craig on the Longhorn
Yes,
games.
exactly right. If they could sync up, if they could, and I'm sure there is some sort of app or technology that, like, if you can sync up the radio.
Man, you want to talk about a way to kind of revive radio calls? That's kind of been a dying industry.
Thanks MLB TV after Brenneman and Nuxall are gone that you do this. But I mean, it is.
That's awesome.
It's a cool feature. That's what I've been doing for
Okay.
my Reds broadcast. I listen to WLW
Buddy,
while I watch the Reds.
You're still watching the Reds?
Well, it's not as. It's,
Power says I am
Bro.
sick.
the Reds can
I am
sometimes
sick.
get turned on the television, but the watching has declined severely.
I say this as a Texas Rangers fan. Yuck.
None of this is good.
It's been bad.
Y'all are all sick.
It's bad.
Step is still watching the Orioles too.
Well, I mean, there are 162 games in a season.
That's true.
What are you? How are you gonna
The
get-
Reds may lose 130 of those games.
They're the worst baseball team I've ever seen.
Yes, that's the worst
Yeah,
Reds
yes.
team I've ever watched.
It's. I mean, and we are in a similar boat that our franchises, at least during the course of our lives, has not exactly been these powerhouses. I've seen some bad baseball, right? The Reds are the worst baseball team I've
The
ever
Reds are
seen.
pretty bad.
They're
The
so
Reds
bad.
are disappointingly terrible.
It's.
I mean, we knew they were going to be bad, right?
I-
We talked about this. They were going to be bad.
we knew they were going to be bad, but not this bad. This is
unexpected
bottoming out.
lows.
I think I'm trade Votto.
I don't think they can. I mean, I don't think they can.
He would have to.
He would have to hit.
Yeah, I guess that's true. The other thing is, I think that he's a Hall of Famer if he doesn't get traded, and like being a like a lifelong Red would help his case.
I think he'll go somewhere after this Reds contract, unless he.
Do you really?
Yeah,
think
he's been.
Oh, don't sign with like the Twins. That makes me sad.
Just judging from last season, not this season, he had a great season last season, and I would have expected similar results this year. And he has 2 years left on his deal.
My dad,
the DH could have extended his career.
Joey Votto is like my dad's favorite.
Joey Votto's been a good baseball player.
Yeah,
he has been.
Very good.
A good baseball player.
Plays the game the right way, as my dad would say. Oh, he hustles. He tries hard. Anyway, enough of that. It's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Hope you enjoyed this show. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Camels. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Camels. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to JT Kitna of Burleson for being our guest. For Greg Powers, thanks, Powers.
You're welcome.
And for Ashley Pickle, thanks, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please get your Player of the Year trophy. I'll see you tomorrow on Texas Football Today.